All right, so back to the board. Number one, in the very beginning, right? So we begin the process with brief back pressure. When we're holding back pressure on the dog, even before we install the activator, and also after we install the activator, we want the back pressure to be brief because we don't want to make it punishing for the dog, right? Don't want the dog to get discouraged. We just want a little bit of back pressure just so the dog notices. We don't want them giving up. You'll see if you'll look back in a few of the videos that we've already seen. You'll notice that with Legend, my black dog, there's several times when I was holding back pressure and he would turn around and look at me, right? So he was starting to be a little bit iffy there, okay? He was he didn't have as much confidence there. So you want to be sure and be mindful not to hold too much back pressure. Keep it brief in the beginning. And then number two, you want to, after they're used to the back pressure, right? Once they get used to it and they're conditioned to it, then you want to extend the duration of the back pressure, right? So we're backing up again, right? We're holding a little bit longer and a little bit longer. We're toughening the dog up to the back pressure a little bit. And we do that for two reasons. So let me just draw it on the graph up here. So step number two is we're going to extend the duration of the back pressure, right? We do that for two reasons again. Number one is to make the release more valuable, right? The longer the dog is held on back tie or not back pressure, then the more meaningful that release is. And number two, it's to put a gap between the initiation of the back pressure. So we've got the back pressure over here and the activator. So the activator's over here, back pressure's right here. If we hold back pressure and then give the activator right in front of it, then or right behind it, then what happens is they kind of blend together, right? It's almost like giving two cues at the same time and they blend together. So what we want to do is extend the back pressure just slightly so that there's a gap between the activator or the stim, which is the release, and the initiation of the back pressure. So it isolates the activator more, makes it more novel, makes it more noticeable, and also adds more value to it, right? Number one. And then number three, what we want to do is, and we'll see that in the videos that we're about to show, we want to reduce the duration of the back pressure again, back to the point that it's non-existent. So number three, we want to reduce the back pressure all the way to where it's non-existent and we can just have the dog beside us and stim as an activator or give a cue, some kind of pressure as an activator, and the dog goes for it. We'll see that in the videos that we're about to watch. But I do want to mention, we'll go over a couple ways to implement the e-collar, and all this is just one way, right? We'll cover several. There's always number four, and you can start right here. You don't have to use back pressure at all. You don't have to use the kick fetch method at all. You can completely omit all of that and just use classical conditioning and just tap your e-collar and say go. Tap your e-collar, say go. If your dog likes the ball and your release word is yes, or to go to the ball or to the food, you can put your food out, put the ball out, tap the e-collar and say yes. Tap the e-collar and say yes. But I like the kick fetch method because it puts more power into it. It kind of builds a reservoir into your gas pedal, and that's what we want the activator to be, is a gas pedal, right? Ignition. So let's jump into some videos, and what we'll see is the reduction of, and it's very brief, but we'll see the reduction of the back pressure so that we end up with just the stim as an activator to go to the ball or to the food. Good.